And welcome to Liverbird TV. So today's video, there'll be as well, is about the Salah contract sort of stumbling blocks, and I think the pros and cons. Now people would say cons, but there could be. If you listen to this video, I'll go into detail as to what those could be. But one thing I want to do first is show you the t-shirts that I'm wearing. This is I'm so glad that Jurgen is a red I've just got, and also this one here, which is Jurgen said to me, you know, hang on, I'm going the right way, that way, and they're fantastic t-shirts, and they're available off Jamie McKeenan. I'll put his name underneath this video. I just got two of them delivered to Bridgie Weir today, and they're mint. They feel comfortable. They're really nice and soft, and I love the front of them. I think they're great, and obviously it's quite in at the moment, isn't it? The Jurgen said to me, you know, song. So yeah, if you'd like to get them, I'll put his name, Jamie McKeenan, and I'll put his name underneath, so you can click the link and then speak to him. They're at a very good price as well. So that'll just start out the way. Right, Mo Salah's contract. Will FSG break the wage structure? I'm leaning more towards no than I am yes. Yes, Mohamed Salah is an incredible footballer, but I said this last year that Aubameyang, the situation with Aubameyang might frighten FSG a bit, and Mesut Ozil. I know Arsenal are a different football club to us, but as soon as the big dollar gets paid to these people, they know they're set for the next 6 years, 5 years, and I think they lose that little bit of a percent of their play. Now, I know this is just a film, but can you remember Rocky, the film? The first couple were brilliant because he was training in like a dump, more or less. His hotel was a dump, you know, and his training facility was a dump. And then he starts having loads of money and he becomes really rich, doesn't he? And he loses the eye of the tiger and he becomes a bit of a, you know, he's taking selfies and everything in the gym rather than training hard. And they go back to basics with him, don't they? And they get him back to his old working class roots, back to the, you know, the slums really, where he was training before, and it gets the best out of him. Money can change people. It makes them take a little bit. Listen, he's already a multi-millionaire, but what I'm saying is he's getting to the stage now where he's getting greedy, and I mean this in the most possible way going, but Ronaldo's the same, you know. Mbappe, I mean, you don't need £1 million a week. You're already seriously well paid. £1 million a week, it's like LeBron James, and it's like all the top elite sportsmen. They just get obsessed with money. If I was Mo Salah, this team is absolutely perfect for him. And this manager is perfect for him because it's gung-ho, all-out attack football. He's never scored the goals that he scored at Liverpool anywhere else. Not at Basel, not at Chelsea, not at Roma. Alright, Roma wasn't too bad, but he's gone elite at Liverpool, and I think that's based on Klopp, the players around him, and he won't get that anywhere else. If he went to Real Madrid now, Modric is the only player I think, and Vinicius Junior could really serve him. Modric is 36 years old. He's not going to be there forever. So I'm looking at it like this, and I say this on my videos all the time. I listen a lot to TalkSport, and Simon Jordan's a former Crystal Palace chairman, and he said something the other day, and it really sort of rang true with me. I sort of understood exactly what he meant by it. And what he said was, the problem you've got with paying a footballer £500,000 a week is it makes the £200,000 a week contracts look like average. So then you get in footballers that are not even the top players at the club. They're great players because they've got to be at Liverpool, but they're not the top elite, top 5 players at the club, and they're still taking home 10 million this season. That can't be right. Liverpool's wage bill is over, I think it's just now over 200 million a year. 200 million. Now, that is less than Manchester United's and less than Man City's, we know. But Manchester United have, more money than us. I don't know whether or not we've made more, but they're a richer club than we are. I mean, the Glazers have spent £1 billion on players, and they've also got a bigger stadium, so they've got 78,000 at every ground, and they've got a massive support around the world, just like Liverpool. But what I'm saying to you is Man United are paying Ronaldo 500 grand a week. But look at Bruno Fernandes since he signed his new contract. Look at Paul Pogba. These are on elite money, and they're average. I don't get what the big drama is about the players. Salah, his goal record is out of this world. But what I think FSG are doing is this, and I said that they should do this. Wait 6 months. Wait up, not even 6 months. I would wait until October. Don't let him get to the last 6 months where he can sign a pre-contract in January. Wait till October. And the reason why I'm going to say October is because, and I said this in my video about Naby Keita and that, and Salah was poor. He was poor the last 2 months of the season. Very poor. Mane was 10 times better than him. He was always laughing. He was frustrating me a lot towards the end of the season because I know he's better than how he was playing. He wasn't shooting. He kept on overdoing it rather than snapshotting or curling it into the top left-hand corner like he used to do. He would always try and take on another player. He looked, laughing all the time. I mean, I know some people say that's good. It's good, a good sort of character. I don't like it. I don't like it. When you're missing chances, it should annoy you. I never seen Robbie Fowler laugh when he missed a chance. I never seen Suarez laugh when he missed a chance. I think sometimes Salah, it just looks like he's not. He wants to score goals because he's a selfish sort of player, but he just didn't. He didn't. To me, if you're judging Mo Salah not on his goal record, which is out of this world, but on the last 6 months, people saying he was top scorer in the Premier League. Well, yeah, he was, but he was joint top scorer. I think with the lad from Son from Tottenham, and I know Harry Kane wasn't far behind. So yeah, he was top scorer. But I'm not being funny. Everybody's. Diego Jota's got an amazing goal record for us as well. Diaz looks like he's going to find goals for us. I just think it's very difficult. Even Origi scored, a few goals for us. So I think in this Liverpool team, you've got to score goals. But I just think that the problem with committing to 500 grand a week is it then sets the ball mark for, Virgil van Dijk will say, hang about here, I'm the best defender in the world. So why am I on 280,000 a week and Mo on 220,000 a week more than me? And shit, FSG are going to go, fuck, what we're going to do here now? We've got Virgil asking for it. And then you're going to go, right. Then that sets a absolute massive alarm bell ringing through the whole squad, because what you'll get is Andy Robertson will want more money. Fabinho will want more money. Thiago will want more money. In fact, they'll all want more money, because that's what they do. They have agents, right? Agents that have stats on their record without, without playing. Their records when they do play. Their goal records, their assist records. Every record going to make it more of a bargaining chip with FSG. But if FSG say, sorry, our wage bill does not go above 300 grand a week, or whatever it is, 200 grand a week. I'm sure it's 200 that we pay, no more than that. No one's getting paid more than that, right? I did hear that Virgil's was 225 a week, but I don't know whether I'm right or not. So what I'm saying is, it's all right saying give Salah the contract, but he's 31. How long are you going to give him then? You're going to give him 3-4 years? So work it out like this. So if you're going to say Mo Salah's staying on 400 grand a week, yeah? And you pay him that 52 weeks a year. Right? Then you're looking at $400,000 a week. It's 4, 8, 12, 1.6. Well, I've got it here in front of me. Sorry, because it just moved away. Just stay on while I'm doing this, right? So 4, 8, 12, 1.6 million a month. So you're looking at 12, 13, 14, nearly £15 million a season, right? So if he signs for 4 years, a new 4-year deal, you're committing to £60 million in his hand for 4 years. Now, by the end of that, Mo Salah will be, you know, what, 35 years old. It's not. I mean, can you see Salah playing for Liverpool at 35? I don't know. So I'm not saying here that I don't want Salah to stay, because that's probably sounding like that by this. I'm not. I'm just looking at it from a real laid-back wage structure point of view for FSG. That it's okay giving one player what he wants, but then that makes all the other players think they can get what they want. People like, say, for example, Diaz and Nunez, they're going to be looking at, oh, I'll tell you what, this is great. I know if I do well in my first couple of years at Liverpool, I'll get 500 grand a week in 3-4 years. You don't want that going through the club. You don't want players coming to Liverpool, because then we can't slag Man City off. We can't slag Man United and Man City off if we're going to do exactly the same thing, which is bring players in that just want the biggest bucks in the world, right? Sadio Mane's getting 380 grand a week at Bayern. Great. Brilliant. Enjoy it. You've earned it. Bayern, right, are the biggest club in Germany, right? Bayern don't have to worry about, you know, money really, because, listen, they win the league every season, so they're guaranteed massive money every year. I mean, I'm not being funny. This is going to sound mad to say this, but FSG are not just here for when Klopp is. FSG are here for the foreseeable future. They've got to protect this football club from maybe what if when Klopp goes and we might not even get in the top 4 in one season. We can't have players on 500 grand a week. We haven't got the resources for that. We're not owned by we're not an oil company funded or a state funded club. We're a business. Now, you know, the Glazers just took £11 million on Friday out of Manchester United. They're going to do another protest in the next couple of weeks, right? The Glazers, you know, they just take the money out of the club. FSG don't take dividends. They don't take money or stuff like that. They just try and run the club as best as possible. Now, the one thing we can't argue with FSG is the transfer strategy. The way they bring players in, the way they get rid of them, they make a profit. They're in a conundrum here, right? I think if Real Madrid came in now with a bid of about £80 million, I think FSG would take it for Salah. I actually really do think they'd take it. But what they would do is they would not keep it, you know, because everybody used to say, oh, they're just here for the money. Well, if that's the case, why didn't they take all the Coutinho money and just bank it then? Give Klopp 20 million to spend and bank 120 of it. They didn't. They gave him exactly every penny of that money. They gave him the 75 million for Van Dijk, and then they gave him the 60 million it was for Alisson. So they give him every penny back. So what I'm saying is I think that they're looking at it as businessmen, not as morally, oh, well, this is great. It's like saying, oh, I bought a car 5 years ago. Oh, it was brilliant. It was so quick. It was brilliant. It was, oh, you want to see it when I first bought it. 5 years down the line, that car ain't going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit more worn out, a bit more battered. I know this is a football I'm talking about, but what I'm saying is, FSG won't make a decision about Liverpool based on last year, or the year before, or the year before that. They won't, because they don't work like that. They did it with the baseball team, the Red Sox. You know, once somebody's, you know, I think they sold quite a lot of their big hitters to bring in players like Diaz, like Nunez. So what they'll do is they'll get rid of their big players if they think that, one, they can get the market value, which is what we got from Mane. We got the same amount of money as we paid for him 5 years ago. So look at it like this. Salah's on what? He's on about 200 grand a week, isn't it? So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, £800,000 a month. That's his wages. If we got 60 million for him, right, we'd then have his wages free as well. I'm not saying sell him. Don't think this video is saying sell him. I'm saying this is all the conundrums that FSG will be thinking. All right, then look at this. Plan B. What happens if he starts? The plan A is, let's hope he starts the season on fire and he's top scorer of the Premier League by August, end of August and September, and he's flying. He's absolutely flying. There is no stopping Mo Salah. He is on fire. Brilliant. There's a contract. You can have it on the basis of, right, here's 300 grand a week, right? But you have to hit this amount of goals for that to continue into the third season. So you could put in his contract, I'll give you £300,000 a week or £350 a week, but if you drop between the minimum of 15 league goals, say 15 league goals is the minimum he has to get, you'll drop down to 250 grand a week or 300 grand a week. There'll be ways you can do it. But again, it goes to the agents, and the agents will be saying, fuck that, we could sell him to PSG tomorrow and they'll pay him £1 million a week. I mean, how in the name of hell are PSG getting away with paying a footballer £1 million a week in one of the worst leagues with one of the worst TV deals on the planet, and not being done for financial fair play when they lost 700 million in the last 5 years is another thing that really annoys me about top level football. I think sometimes you've got to make the best decision for your career, right? And I'm starting to think to myself as well, it's not just FSG, I think it's a little bit of Mo as well. I'm thinking he wants to make it look like FSG are not giving him what he wants so he can leave on a free, or he can be bought right now. Because let's not get it twisted, he's got more chance of winning the Ballon d'Or at Real Madrid or Barcelona than he has at Liverpool, because it's down to politics and it's down to do with the fact that UEFA have shitloads of members of staff working at PSG and Real Madrid, so it's absolute load of shit. If Mo Salah would have scored the goals that he scored for Liverpool, for Real Madrid, he'd have won a couple of Ballon d'Ors by now, and it would have been happened at Barcelona. And this, you know, PSG's sporting director is on the panel of UEFA, so I'm telling you now, corruption is right at it, and top level football now, it has to be capped for transfer fees, and the wages are a fucking joke, to be honest with you. It makes me sick that a footballer playing in a farmers league, and everyone raves about Mbappe, get out of the French league and let's see. I tell you what, I would be surprised if he ever came to the Premier League, if he struggled and he's on £1 million a week. Where's he going to go next after PSG? He's going to want more money. He's not going to take a pay cut. So what's next? £2 million a week? £1.5 million a week? So it just does me head in. But I'm going to read this out, and it sounds amazing. And if you read this out and you're just going to say, Neil, what are you talking about? Salah has to sign. I'm not saying not sign. I'm saying that John W. Henry and Tom Werner and FSG and Julian Ward will be going, okay, we have this here. Give him what he wants. We've got 6 or 7 players here that are due for new contracts. They're going to ask for 100 grand a week more now. If we give Mo this, they're going to ask for an extra 100k, because what will happen is, if you've got, for example, Andy Robertson coming in saying, I want 180 grand a week now, right, then you could probably say, okay, we'll give you 150 and you'll make a deal. That's fine, right? You give Mo 500 grand a week, then Robbo's agent will come in and say, right, Robbo wants 225,000 a week. He wants 250 grand a week. And that's how it works. It will just go up. And Simon Jordan hits the nail on the head. Is you'll make 200 grand a week look feeble to 500,000, and everybody will want that. And it's just the way it works. They don't care. These footballers don't care. I got laid off during the pandemic at Anfield, right, when the fans stopped coming in for a bit, even though I was working there 50 hours a week during the pandemic, sanitising all the zones where Klopp went, even Klopp's office, doing all the changing rooms, everything, right? I was on just over £9 an hour at Anfield. £9, right? And they couldn't cover my wages. I had to go and work at B&M's over Christmas. Do you know what happened? The pandemic, with no supporters, all of these footballers have signed new contracts on double the amount they were on pre-COVID. What does that tell you? They just don't give a shit. They want as much money as possible. Apart from one player that I will say is exception to that rule, and that's James Milner, who's taken a pay cut to stay one more year at Liverpool, because he has a you know, I think he's got a plan to probably take on the 23s as manager as soon as he retires. I reckon he'll stay within the club. So it is a bit of a touchy subject for me, the amount of money we're speaking about here, because it just shows you the distance between top football now and us, the fans. I mean, that's why I worked for AFC Liverpool, Affordable Football Club Liverpool, because I'm a big believer in football should be affordable. You know, let's not get me started on the amount it costs now for kits. Now, people say buy fakes is wrong. Listen, Liverpool don't care. They don't give a shit whether you buy it out the shop or not. They really don't, because you know what? The money they make is all from sponsorships and TV revenue. You'll be surprised when people say the supporters pay the players' wages. You don't. You don't nowhere near pay the players' wages. You pay a percent of it because it's the TV revenue and everything. The Champions League get money and all that. You know, it was years ago in the 70s and 80s when you could say we pay the players' wages. It ain't no more. So Liverpool, do you know how I know they're not that bothered about people buying shirts from? I've been buying off the same lad for 3 or 4 years, and I know a few people that have, why are they not being stopped? Not being stopped because Liverpool ain't bothered. If Liverpool were bothered, they, I know John Henry tried to trademark the Liverpool, but that didn't work. So it just frustrates me. But Mo Salah, let's just read this out. This is his stats. I'll just go off subject because it still annoys me that we're talking here about a football player earning £500,000 a week, and it just really does me head in. You know, Ian Rush is Liverpool's record goal scorer with 300 and something goals, and I don't think he'd have been getting £500,000 a week. But there we go, different era and all that. So what I'm going to do now is read out his stats, which is quite good really, to be honest with you, as you can imagine. So birthplace, Bazoun, Egypt, born on the 15th of June 1992. His clubs the Salah's played for are Al Makaloun, Basel between 2012 to 14, Chelsea between 2014 to 16, Fiorentina on loan 2015, Roma 2015-16, and we bought him from Roma for 43.9 million. So his games to goals ratio is 1.63. When Salah plays, Liverpool wins 65% of their matches. He's played 167 games, and he's won 167 games with him. We've drawn 46 and we've lost 41. This is quite good here. So basically, his league games, stroke goals and assists. He's played 180 games in the league for Liverpool. He scored 118 goals and assisted 46. His total games, he's played 254 games for Liverpool. He scored 156 goals. So, the stats are great. They're brilliant. But I'm looking at the last 3 months of last season. So I think what Liverpool should do is they should watch him in August, watch him in September, watch him in October, and make a decision by the end of that month. Now, if he's got 4 goals, then he's not worth £500,000 a week, because we're not looking at the last 4 years. We're looking at the next 4. If he's got 10 and he's a top goal scorer, then it's a different conversation. But I actually think that asking FSG to break wage structures it goes against everything they stand for and everything they've been, which is the reason why we've had Liverpool fans saying FSG out, because they are not going to be stupid financially. They just are too good for that. They are too good for that. They bought Liverpool for 300 million. They've made them worth 2 billion. They took over Anfield when it was 44,500 with segregation. They're turning it into 61,000. They turned up at Melwood. They're now at Kirby. They don't make Liverpool worse. They make Liverpool better. They turned up. We were nearly in administration. We now nearly just did the quadruple. So in a way, can you argue with any of the decisions apart from the Super League that they have made? No. And I tell you something now, the start of the season's key. If Núñez starts like a house on fire and bangs 7 and 8 and Salah's on 2 goals, you'll be surprised how quickly fans can change, and they'll go, if he goes, he goes. Because I'm not being funny, we lost Torres, we lost Suarez, we lost Michael Owen, we lost Ian Rush, we lost Robbie Fowler. There'll always be somebody else coming in next. I love Mo Salah to bits. I hope he signs a new 4-year contract, but I don't want it to be at the domino effect of the finances that it could have on the squad, because that's not what's best for Liverpool. And that's all I'm saying in this video. If he stays, buzzing. If he goes, cheers Mo, just like Mane. I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think Mane got enough respect when he left. It was as if, oh well, he's not Mo Salah. Listen, I think that people won't realise just how good of a player we've lost when you see Mane playing for Bayern in a few weeks, and if we're, drawing 0-0 at home to Leicester, and there's no Sadio Mane going down the left and using his strength to check people and twist and turn and score. I think Mane's probably the most underrated one out of our front three. I actually think he's absolutely world class, and I actually think if you go off just the last 3 months of last season, that we'll miss Mane than we would miss Mo at this moment in time. Mo's goals, he takes penalties as well, I do know, but Mane for me was different gravy in terms of what he gave the team, even like helping Salah, creating space for Salah with his runs into the channels. So I just think sometimes Mane doesn't get the respect he deserves. Let me know your thoughts. All I'm saying is FSG have to think exactly how I've just spoke for the last 25 minutes. They have to basically decide, keep wage structure broken, wait 3 months, is it worth breaking the wage structure, or get 80 million from now, 60 million from now, go out and get Dybala on a free, save that 80 million, buy Jude Bellingham in the summer. Who knows? Because we'd still have, listen, if Salah went, I'm not saying he's gone, but if he did go, we've still got Firmino, Jota, Diaz, Nunez, Carvalho. We've still got 5 strikers, so we wouldn't even need to buy a new striker. We'd just play, Nunez is our number 9, you could have Diaz on the left hand side, and you could have Jota on the right hand side. I mean, it's just, you know, it just goes without saying. So who knows? I'm just going to sit to any comments and I'll read them through as we go. Hi, got to go on the school run, Neil, catch up the rest later. Yeah, no worries. Alright Paul, alright Lorraine. Hi Bjorn, Salah is the best. I know Salah is the best, that's what I've said in the video, but it is what it is. And all I'm going to say is this video isn't sell Mo Salah. This is a Liverpool fan trying to talk with fellow Liverpool fans about the decision that Liverpool and FSG have got to make, because we are in decision making time now. He's in the last year of his contract. A decision has to be made. Keep, sell, or break the wage structure and keep. That's it. Simple as that. You'll never walk alone.